All right, ladies, buckle up. It's showtime.
You gave me your loving, and I fell from grace.
And boom. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard Copperhead Road Podcast, live on Rumble, live on YouTube, live on Kick, live on ERS. What's up, everybody? I'm your boy Footer. Got my man Rexy over there. Got Jem behind the glizzy.
What's up, money makers?
Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Fucking, I got a little. I was a little late to the whatchamacallit fucking button there, to the mute button. I couldn't get my cursor down to the button quick enough.
Well, you don't even have to mute yourself. The StreamYard automatically mutes you.
No, I know I couldn't get on. Yeah, but it doesn't unmute me.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I always thought it did.
No.
There was something. Oh yeah, no, I lost it. I was gonna say something about you. That's what I was gonna say. You didn't even get your bat off the shoulder. You know, got to square around.
Speaking of which,
Yeah.
I've been, I absolutely fucking love the Little League World Series. I absolutely fucking love it.
I know you mentioned that in the past, and I've always been kind of
creeped out.
I wouldn't say creeped out, but kind of
Nah.
Amazed that you like. But I mean, it's probably for the same reason. If I'm going to watch football, I'm going to watch college football because the participants seem super eager to be there.
And just watching there's a couple of things I love. I love intensity in youth sports. Like, I love the passion and the fucking just the intensity of how these kids play. I love the way they mimic the big leaguers. That I love. That I find fucking adorable. I fucking find it. I absolutely love it. I love how they emulate the fucking pros.
You mean by ignoring the crowd and beating their wife?
Yeah, by drinking too much, by being overpaid. No, I just love the intensity, and again, just just the little movements. You know what I mean? The little mannerisms and shit. I absolutely love it because, again, as a kid, I just absolutely fucking loved playing baseball. I absolutely just loved it. And I think watching the Little League World Series, you don't even realize just how good these kids are. They're just such good little ball players. There's a couple of girls on some of the teams this year. I always love that. Yeah, I always love that because, my girls always played in boys league baseball. You know what I mean? And their friends, there's two other girls were also on my team. I had four at my two, and then I had their friends on my team. Every year we would do the draft. I would pick them. It was just awesome. We'd go play tournaments or something, and they'd be like, "Oh my God, you guys are, you go look at, they have four girls on their team. Oh my God." And then we'd whoop their asses, and it would hurt them even more, which is great.
Now, let me ask you about the both genders thing. Is that just a U.S. thing, or is that sort of worldwide?
What do you mean? I think it's worldwide, but I don't think I've never seen any other players. I never saw the Japan team or anything like that.
Yeah, Bakash just busted in the door and asked us how can you be from Brooklyn and not love Gil Hodges. I'm not sure exactly how that plays into what we're talking about, but
and first of all, I like Gil Hodges. What do you mean? Like, I have no problem. First of all, I love the reason why I'm a diehard Mets fan is because of my family was Brooklyn Dodgers fans. When they And then once the first, and if you were a Brooklyn Dodger fan, you can never be a Yankee fan, obviously. So then when Brooklyn Dodgers left, what are you going to do? Go to be a Yankee fan? No way. You know what I mean? You sit and you wait, and then the Mets come and you become Mets fans. And then we just feel miserable for the rest of our lives. That's all.
I remember my dad was a big Brooks Robinson fan. Did he play for the Dodgers or was he the Orioles? Do you remember?
I think Dodgers.
Yeah, because
Brooks Robinson, he did also, I think, play for the Brooklyn Dodgers. I believe he may have.
Yeah, that was my dad's guy. I don't exactly know why. Maybe because he played third base, I think. But I remember he even had, like his glove that he had from, it was one of those fake signed by Brooks Robinson or whatever. And then I immediately left it out in the rain and ruined it and felt horrible for years.
Yeah.
That was his guy. My growing up, I was a big Tony Pena fan, obviously of his catching, not of his hitting. Who like if you were emulating, who was your guy when you played baseball?
Dwight Gooden.
Not a bad.
I was a pitcher. I had my windup was exactly like his, like that set, and it coming the very fluid.
Terrible addiction habit.
Yeah, terrible addiction habit. Had a nice fastball and I had an amazing curveball, and then I just lived and died by that.
Yes, people call you Doc.
Yeah, I used to wear 16. I wanted to pitch like fucking Dwight Gooden, but I was built like Sid Fernandez, unfortunately. Little chubby little fella. This is why I love my girl. So I tried to send her a cute joke. I just write to her. She's working, and I knew she had a busy day, so I just wrote, "Babe," and she's been doing a lot of artwork, right? Yeah. She's really good too. So I sent her. I go, "Babe, I just dipped my balls in glitter." I go, "Nuts, right?" I go, "No," I go, "Pretty nuts, right?" and then so she just writes, I see. She's like, "I'm really busy right now, but I do look forward to seeing that later." And then she must be on lunch right now. I just got a text. "All right, let's see those balls, sir." And she doesn't get the joke, but she wants to see my balls dipped in glitter. And that is what, ladies and gentlemen, if you find that, it's a keeper.
Colonel in chat said Tim Wakefield was his guy as a knuckleballer. Yeah, I could throw a knuckleball. Can you throw a knuckleball with any consistency?
Yeah.
Meaning consistency, like it goes all over the place.
Consistently not knowing what it's going to do. Yep.
Yeah.
I can throw a knuckleball, but I never I had 2 pitches and then in what they would call an out pitch.
Okay.
So I which means I didn't throw it for strike. So I'd have my my fastball utilizing inside, outside, up and down. Then I'd have my curveball to change speeds because I really didn't have much of a good changeup.
Yep.
And then I had like a pretty hard slider. So, but I always threw it the same.
Is this something you're telling Deb again?
Yeah. No, I had a hard slider, and I would always throw that for a ball down and away. And it was like basically just like a chase pitch. You know what I mean? Have 2 strikes on you. Build a few tunnels with the first 4 pitches. You know what I mean? And then try to hit that same tunnel as I did with my fastball the pitch prior. That was called for a strike. And he took. So I throw down that same tunnel, but with the hard slider, and it would just go down in the dirt. But I was hoping that from my release point, he was seeing it like that fastball that he looked at a strike on. So he's going to swing for it, and then it's just going to, hit the dirt and go out. And then hopefully my catcher makes the play and doesn't have to drop third strike and throw down.
I never felt fully comfortable at the plate. Especially when curveballs started to become a thing. Like early on in Little League, I was fine, but I could never sit comfortably at the plate. I was always thinking about, that's going to hurt if I get hit. That's going to hurt if I get hit. And so, I mean, again, I still hit okay. Yeah. But yeah, curveballs, I could never get comfortable with them.
Well, I told you how I'll never forget the kid's name, and fucking, Billy Cahill. I remember in it was 13-year-old league because we were at the field where the fence was. he hit me in the head with a pitch, and I was shell shocked for like 2 games after.
Yep.
And I had told my dad, and my dad took me to the field and with a bucket of balls and put me behind the plate, and then took about 20 baseballs and threw them at me in a row.
Yep. How'd that work out?
And then they hit me, and I was like, ah, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, you're fine, right? You right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So after getting hit with the ball 20 times, I'm like, yeah, again, this is the worst thing that can happen to me. You know what I mean? I have a helmet. They're not going to throw hard enough to, like I'll be fine. Just be a man and man up. You know?
Yeah. We had a couple of guys that could easily throw 80, but none of them had control. So that was like part of the reason.
That's the problem.
Yeah, it was a control thing. It wasn't even the speed of things. And that was another thing. Left-handed pitchers with everything going the opposite way just screwed me up. And again, I did okay. I played 1 year in high school, and then I'm like, I'm going to play football. I enjoyed playing baseball a lot more than I enjoyed playing football. It just wasn't in the cards.
Yeah, I had the best football career out of anybody in the fucking world. I had the best fucking football. I played 1 season.
Yeah.
After like maybe the 3rd or 4th practice, I told I'd never forget calling my dad at work and going, yeah, I'm done. I'm not playing football. Why aren't you playing football? You know, I don't like it. It's too fucking hard. I hate the practices. I'm not going to practice. Oh, you're going to practice and you're finishing the season. I'm not. Really? Okay. I'll see when I get home. I'm already in a panic by the time he gets home. Right. You know what I mean? Sure enough, I'm at practice that night. And I continued the season. Yo, we went fucking 11-1, went to the championships, won the championship. I fucking got a huge trophy, won offensive lineman of the season. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do I had no fucking clue what the fuck I was doing. I had zero idea like that. I was like, I'm not kidding. Like, I didn't understand that. Like, I was pushing the guy against me, like to make a hole. Like, I didn't get any of it. Right. I think I was 9 and I should have by then, but I just didn't.
Yeah.
Never played football again, and had a sick trophy, had a plaque. You know what I mean? Fucking had the moment of like my coach, oh my God, running on the field after we won the championship. It was fucking amazing. 1983 Peanut champions, baby.
Our team was never great. I was Sunshine Coast All Conference as a center and a long snapper. I went to a 2-week training camp at Florida State University because Bobby Bowden had a thing for long snappers. He liked to fuck us, and but he would bring in like 30 different fucking long snappers for the 2-week practice or whatever. And then again, I got into a week, realized that I'm not 6'5" and black. There's no way in the world I'm going to ever make it. So I bowed out.
And not in Florida. Florida, yeah. Florida just has a fucking insane. Florida has an insane talent pool for every sport.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. The California, and Florida, they kill it with youth sports.
Well, you had mentioned even before the show, you were talking about like participating in things in early mid-August that is just awful because of the heat. And awful. that was when we had the 2-a-day practices where you had to be on the field at 7. You went from 7 to 10. Then from 10 to 11, you had a rest. Then from 11 to 12, you had calisthenics and running. Then from 12,
I don't feel as bad for kids though, Rex. To be honest with you, I'm talking about like our age. It sucks to be out there, like because when I coached all of my baseball and softball years of coaching for my girls. Yeah, we're talking 11 years of fucking, coaching competitively. And when we used to do tournaments, all summer long doing tournaments. Mm-hmm. I mean, and my fucking man, Catherine, my poor baby, fucking, she was a catcher, and she would catch all of the games. You know what I mean? So there'd be times in a weekend she was catching 5 games. Back there, and you were a catcher. She was badass. Again, don't get me wrong. My other daughter was out there killing it as well, but just being a catcher, it was tough.
Yeah, but that's the
Tough as
only
hell.
evidence that I've ever had of any kind of a PTSD, and I don't mean like it affected me like mentally or whatever, but like for at least 10 years after that, like the physical smell of cut grass would make me nauseous. That was again, it wasn't like, oh my god, I was going, but like every time I would smell fresh cut grass, it would make me nauseous. And that's true.
Yeah. No, this is a great comment. It makes you gay. Colonel said, Jen's the pitcher, then, if Rex is the catcher, it means you're taking it in the butt. She's pegging you, my friend, is what they call it.
Well, and that's why we've been together for 20 years.
You know what? Yep. A couple that pegs together stays together.
I actually remember reading that in Leviticus.
Yeah. No, I think that was in Kama Sutra, but either one is fine.
No,
Either one is fine.
I don't remember that book of the Bible.
Yeah. Let me so anyway, I love the Little League World Series type stuff that's starting, but a lot of the games to get you to Cooperstown, Cooperstown,
Yeah.
is were happening. So I've been watching those, like the highlight ones on YouTube. Man, I think I may, that might be what my shtick for my lives. I think I may go live and do reaction videos to the games, like the highlights of the games.
Why don't you go to the Little League World Series? Why not?
I had my dream before my girls got older and decided that fucking they don't want to hang with their dad all and do their things that he likes to do. I always had, my dream was to rent like the big RV type thing, and drive down to Cooperstown with my girls, dad and the girls trip,
Yeah.
and go there and stuff. But yeah, that's not gonna happen. No,
All right, well, rent a Hyundai and drive over there for a day and watch the Little League World Series. Why not? You probably get a.
Well, I don't live down the block.
Well, I know, but I mean,
I'd have to drive fucking straight 22 hours. You know what I mean? Get a $119 hotel room that's $917 right now. You know my point. I don't think it's.
It's easy to come up with excuses not to do something footer.
Yeah, well, I guess maybe I should set that up for next year. But do it and start it now.
Have you ever been to Cooperstown, the Hall of Fame?
Nope.
It's one of those things that I always wanted to do.
Yeah. I'll meet you at Cooperstown.
Sure. If you were going to pick a Hall of Fame, including Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which one would you rather go to?
Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I know.
Fuck the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's just that. Meh.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's an hour and a half north of me. I could go to the Basketball Hall of Fame, but who the fuck wants to do that?
No one.
Idiotic.
I did go to what's near me, probably about 40 minutes north of me, is the Navy SEAL Museum, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see where that would be cool.
Yeah. Again, I mean, it depends on what but now I've been to, like, we have pretty cool baseball museums pretty close to me. I believe it's called we actually had the Babe Ruth World Series convention there. Convention center. It's a little convention. I think it might be Treasure Coast. I don't know. But it's up there over by Jensen Beach and stuff. So it's not too far, but they have a pretty cool little. It's very small, but it's pretty cool. They have some pretty cool stuff there, though.
Sweet.
I'm in South Florida, dang.
Do you like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I know that a couple of weeks ago they were talking about inductees, and again every year they come up and they've definitely decided, okay, it's not just rockers, it's everybody or whatever. And the guy's justification is that that rock and roll, the term now, doesn't actually mean rock music. It just means good music, I guess. Do you ascribe to that? That it should be okay for basically any genre of music to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
At this point, I honestly am okay with it. Because I mean, rock and roll to me is a little bit different Like I have a very fucking gatekeeperish type of mentality, which I guess would be in contrast to my opinion as far as not caring, but meaning rock and roll to me is very like gritty. You know what I'm saying? Like if you could just make fucking really just fucking nice homegrown fucking music. Like I'm nerdy when it comes to shit like that. Like I love great songwriting, no matter if it's Elton John or Slayer. You know what I'm saying? And I prove it every single day that a good written song, it what's the word, transpires or it transcends, I should say, genres. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So-
Well, it was sort of strange for them to sort of pigeonhole the Music Hall of Fame, which is really what it is, as rock and roll. Because I mean, even I don't think there's even been music beyond the 60s that I would even say is rock and roll. I mean, you could say it's hard rock, pop rock, alternative rock, indie rock, you know, like
yeah, that's why I don't do that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's why I don't allow the rock and roll thing, because my biggest thing after a while was my goal was I just want to be a fucking rock band. Like I just want to go up and play fucking rock and roll, like
Yeah.
type of deal. And meaning just fucking guitar, bass, fucking drums. You know what I mean? Again, I don't even care if you had a turntable. You know what I'm saying? Because you're still utilizing the sounds of a drum and a bass and I just, you know, and if you can fit shit in, like again, this is a fun time for me, especially again with music, because I'm writing for a lot of different artists now. So I'm like going so outside of my box. I think I might have said this to you after the show. Like right now I have somewhat of like a hit dance song. And I didn't even like an EDM that's getting like a lot of spins and like a lot of hype around it. And I had no idea, you know what I'm saying, until I was, you know, talked about, you know, like financially where what it could possibly do. So it's a lot of fun to hear something I wrote on my acoustic with just a melody and some lyrics and a hook, and then all of a sudden it just being transposed into like this huge EDM hit or something like that, you know.
Do you care to say what that is and where people can hear it?
Well, I know they're playing they play the single all the time on UGN Rave Radio,
Okay.
which just launched maybe a month or so ago, and they already have like insane numbers and they have insane DJs. Like if you're into like the EDM scene,
Yeah.
like they have top notch fucking programming. Like I was, and I know nothing about that type of music, so I was very, very pleasantly surprised at when I did my little investigating on just how legit they are. So I'm really proud of you know, Jay is the owner, and I do have a little invested interest in it myself, but you know, but well, that's you know what, and exactly. Let me bring what Colonel just said. He's like, I like real music, not an EDM fan. Samesies. Okay. With that being said, it's weird now though, because when I knew that I'm in my room and I'm writing a fucking song, you know, on an acoustic, right, and I know the chords, right, and I'm playing the chords and I'm singing my melody and writing the lyrics to it, and I fucking love it. It's just fucking killer. Just the acoustic guitar and me, I fucking love it. And then I can pass it over, and the chords are the same.
Yep.
The melodies are the same. The lyrics are the same. But yet there's different manipulations going on. There's obviously different, you know, whatever, different beats and shit around it. But the chords and the melodies are there, and I fucking love it. Now, maybe because I wrote it, you know what I'm saying? That very well could be.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm not necessarily a fan of a lot of other things, but I'm having a problem right now with rock music in general that my ears are fine with today's rock music and rock music in general. Like I love being able to listen to everything. You know what I mean? It's fun. I like songs like that I hear and I'm like, oh fuck, that band's cool. With that being said, I keep saying to like my producers, I keep going, like, I can write you hit rock songs all day long if this was our sophomore release, and we've already had an insane fan base that we just wanted to make happy. You know what I'm saying? And continue the that's fine. But I don't want to, like, what I'm releasing right now for Jay, or letting Jay, I should say, do with my music, is definitely so different. Picture an acoustic rock song that is undeniable. You know what I'm saying? As songwriting goes, and then that being mixed with the undeniable trend of whatever's hot in EDM.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It's quite fucking fascinating. It really, really is. I'm proud of myself. I'm proud of the everybody involved, all the producers, and you know, UGN Rave Radio, all of it. I really I'm proud of everyone. And they treat me really, really good and make me feel really good about myself.
Well, that's always been kind of like again, I've said it many times. I don't understand music. I understand what I like. With that kind of thing, I do. But that is one of those gifts or characteristics of musicians that I probably enjoy more than anything else, is that somebody, and again, I use Johnny Cash always for this example, but that can hear a song, but then in their head hear it differently to a completely different you know, tone. Like, again, like how, like the example Hurt by Nine Inch Nails, where he can hear Hurt you know, and Trent Reznor singing it, but then it's being like, okay, well, I'm going to change it and make the whole thing out and make it in the country, and it's going to sound like this. Like, I can't, that's a function in my head that I can't do, and I've always appreciated.
Well, I'll give you a quick example of something that's weird. Like, so we would do, we every night around 8 o'clock in West Coast time, we do a 5 o'clock West Coast time, so it's 8 o'clock my time.
Yeah.
We have a meeting, right? We do an hour meeting every night, and we have a spreadsheet, and we kind of go over all, you know, we're doing a bunch of different projects, right? Yep. So one of the things that I do on my off time to prepare for these meetings, and so I've continued to write and be fresh, is I come up with different ideas. And if I'm in my car, you know, I can't do much except for jot something down. So I'll just go to my phone, and I'll just go to the recordings, right? And I'll kind of hum the melody. So the other day I did that, right? And I'll give you an example of what I did, and then you'll hear it for what it is. And then all of a sudden, wait until that is taken and done with something. So this is all, and I can do it right now live on the air too, to show you like how I did it. But this is, so I basically went bum 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 bum. That's all I did. Okay. And I did that on my voice recorder. Then I got home. I didn't want to forget it. So then I just put in I opened my recording musician, double, triple the vocals. So you just make it sound a little fat, because I wanted to send it over to the producers. Right. So then all of a sudden it becomes like this. Okay. So now that right there, now in my head, I have an entire melody, right? So my next thing to do is I will write some lyrics and write a melody, throw it on, record it, and then I'll just send it over to producers. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then they'll take that and they'll make that into something, or it'll be terrible and we'll scratch it and there'll be nothing. But that's what I'm saying, is like, you can be very organic as a songwriter, and just randomly come up with different melodies, different riffs. And I get things from, if I'm doing my laundry and there's a hat in the fucking in the dryer, and it's going in my head, I go tick-a-dick, tick-a-dick. You know what I'm saying? I'm all of a sudden like thinking of like a little beat around it or a melody around it, or so that's how my brain works.
Yep.
You know.
What's up, Hammer and Glenn Lowry?
Yo, what's up, Glenn? What's up, Hammer? Dang, da dang, da dang, da dang, dang, da dang, da dang, dang. We see you. And then oh, it's fucking so funny. I really love that. Yeah, exactly. And then you got to understand, like, I don't even know if anybody's ever heard me sing here. You know what I mean? But like, and especially now, and there's another thing I've been doing. Should I even talk about this? Is this? And I'm
Sure.
not going to be insulted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it not interesting? Be honest, because I wouldn't be insulted.
No.
So anyway, and now the best thing about where I'm at in my career or lack thereof, I don't need to try to like, I have a very good range, but like I don't need to try to like sound like something. You know what I mean? So my approach to singing, I can lean into my grungy low type of, you know what I'm saying? So for example, this is the vocal tones that I'm working with right now. Okay. So, and somebody be like, oh, you don't sing like that. I don't know. Like that's me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I could do the whole song right now. Like that's my vocal, and I don't have to try to do anything hard. You know what I'm saying? So I can lean into my normal vocal, and you have emotion and raw, like it's right there in the vocal. You know what I'm saying? It's so nice to not have to try. And now again, is everybody going to like that? No, maybe not. You know what I mean? But my point is, the attributes of my vocal, for the first time in my life, I'm not sweating anything out. You know?
Yeah, and it's a nice place to be. You know, and I know that you know, the number one, when people say AI music, they use it as sort of like an umbrella term. You know, when they say it, they mean you went to the thing and said, I want to hear a rock song that's good, and then it just comes out and just makes a song, and you're like, see, this is a great song, this is what I did. And that's not it's not fair to people who are using AI as a tool with somebody who is talented, who can make things move. You know, I think people in general think that when people say AI music, it's very, very simple, and it's just a 2-sentence prompt in Gemini, and all of a sudden a song comes out, and that's not the case.
And I think, I really think that you could, I think you'd be able to kind of tell what is and what is not. Now, I couldn't before I knew about AI music, to be honest with you.
Right.
You know, but and that's why I'm again on my own little live stream. I think I'm going to definitely do that Little League thing, and I might do a prompt of to debate me in AI music. Or we can even do it here if you want. Because I just don't think there's any way for anybody to as if I'm debating it, there's no way you're gonna be able to beat me, because I have all receipts, and I can show you the evolution of music because I lived it in the last 30 years.
Well,
you know my point?
Well, I think even just like even if you did a video of, like you said, humming something, breaking it down, building it up, and actually just showing like how you're using your program or whatever, and go from like from humming it to D, here's a somewhat finished song, just so people, because I don't think people understand how a song is built with the tool of AI, and I don't think that there's any real videos that are showing it.
Yeah, and I don't even need I don't need AI programs as far as to help me along. I have my own recording stuff that, again, for whatever I would need, if I had to use the AI to do it, like it would be something that like is definitely out of my repertoire. You know what I'm saying? Fortunately for me, I don't go that far. Like I write you fucking melodies, like a riff, a melody, and lyrics. You know what I'm saying? And I can sing it, right? So, like, perfect example. I'm not gonna put the little licks and the little leads in the studio on my shit. You know why? It's not efficient. You know how fucking long it would take me to nail those leads solid, quick. I'll write them, but to sit in the studio, it's going to take me 40 takes because I'm not a great lead guitar player. You know what I'm saying? Right. I don't even want to play the rhythm parts, to be perfectly honest with you.
Well, that's the thing. You know, it's not like you have a studio drummer handy. It's not like you have a production guy handy. It's not like you have, somebody who can, I need somebody for 4 minutes to play a fucking steel guitar. Like, in order for you to like do what you do, which is, I still find super impressive. Like you need to be able to, and again, maybe won't be the final product, but at least in order for you to sort of play in the sandbox, you've got to be able to avail yourselves to things that aren't readily available all the time.
And again, the thing is, you have to also understand like how, again, this is going to get into the AI debate of music, but what do you want to do? Do you want me to show you how the hot dog's made? Do you really want to know how the sausage is made, as they say? Because I'm telling you, all of your favorite rock artists that you think, all the integrity and, oh my God, like that's not AI music. Okay. But I can tell you, you ever hear somebody punching in vocals? You know what that means? All I'm saying is like, you're again, not all the time, but most of the great rock records that you hear have been in 30 years ago were actually, tape, and they were doing something called punching in, where the guy would sit there and hit record, you'd sing the line, and he'd pop it right out and hope he got a nice smooth transition. Then it became, oh, do this. Oh, you did a shitty take? Yo, that's a little flat. Not a problem. Copy, paste, boom. Make sure you just tune that up to make sure it's in key. Boom, click, done. That was done to every one of your records from 1996 on, when Pro Tools was involved.
Right.
Then it became, and again, I'm telling you, I remember when my engineer, I'd be in the booth laying vocals, and my engineer has all fucking 10 fingers on different faders, moving the fader up a little, dropping it down a little, moving it a little bit. Then around 1998, I remember when automation came out, or at least when my studio was using automation. Then all of a sudden, oh, look at this. Automatically, these faders are going up and down. And in all the automation, the levels are all peaking at the right spots and all that.
Yep.
Why? Because there was a computer or a system that was automated. Again, then there was no more tape. Like I said, then it was all Pro Tools. Then you'd start getting different type of Pro Tools that got better. More things you could do. Auto-tune. My point is, it's a joke when you, and I get it from the artist standpoint. If I understand, like if you all of a sudden, I know you do not know how to use music, right? If you put something out and it sold 1 million records, it would bother me, I guess I could see that. You know what I'm saying? Because I know how the fuck did you do that? You can't do that. But you need to start. People need to stop with just, oh, that's AI slop. Is it though?
Right.
Or is it a really fucking good produced record thanks to the computerized shit and maybe some AI help? You know my point? But as long as the artist has the integrity, then I don't think that they should really take a beat. In my but
again, there's so many advancements and so many of the actual like equipment, like when we had first started, when we had first started doing shows, like my original microphone, I think was like a late 70s Sennheiser mic, didn't have any sort of
great a Sennheiser
in 1978, but like I can scream as loud as I want into this and it's not going to clip out because this microphone has a built-in compressor in it. It's not going to allow me to go high. It's going to lift everything. So just this microphone alone has a ton more technology than somebody who was singing into a microphone in 1970.
Yeah. What's up, Quinn? Yeah. Again, that's the thing, man. It really is. Again, if you wanted to debate it, I'm thinking about emailing James at Modern Day Debate and telling him, look, if anybody wants to debate me on it, I'll come on your show and do it because he's got a huge platform. Say again.
I said I think that would be great because I think
Yeah.
it's a misunderstood, and I think a lot of it is disingenuous,
Yes.
and jealousy and things or whatever of people who can
Yep.
actually professionally. So
but I'd have to make some. We'd have to come in the common ground where I can agree. Like I said, the example is if you're just prompting an AI and coming up with a song, putting in the lyrics, or shit, for this matter, you probably let them write the lyrics for you. You know what I'm saying? They'll write a melody for you. They'll write the riffs for you. If they're doing all that, I'm not okay with that. I'm not. So if we can establish some sort of, it would have to be, the prompt would have to be specific. You know what I mean? Which I'm sure we can do it. You know what I mean? So maybe I'll do that. Maybe maybe, and we should have the show reach out and see if we could do a what do you call that? Like a simulcast type of deal. Because that would be good for this show because they have a huge audience.
Yeah, I can do that. So anyway, so to move away from that, we got a lot of stuff to cover, and we're going to try to cover as much of it as we can. But I did notice this, and we don't have to spend a ton of time on it, but I'm curious to know how Footer, because I am a huge supporter of police officers, and I know Footer is too. And a lot of these times when you see these videos come out that Black Lives Matter is against or whatever, and again, I'm completely on the other side of like the George Floyd thing. I think that Officer Chauvin was justified. Things like I give a lot of deference to police officers. That being said, there's a new video that's come out of Arkansas. I believe it's Arkansas, of a state trooper pulling over a black woman who is, I believe, 18. And again, we don't know all the details. There very well may be a huge, like a perfectly legitimate reason for what you're about to see. But right now, watching this video, like I am horrified by what this police officer did. And I went into it like, oh, whatever. I'm sure she's fucking hitting. I don't see any justification for what happened. So I'd love Footer to see it, and we can both react to it. Of course, it's chopped up in a news article, but I think it's worth a watch. Take a look.
Released video of a recent traffic stop is causing outrage, and outrage is the word. It shows an Arkansas state trooper punching an 18-year-old black woman in the face after forcing her to the ground on the side of the highway. Now, the trooper says she was resisting arrest. When you watch this video, you can decide for yourself on that. Jason Allen has more, and a heads up, the footage is very disturbing to watch.
I'll be the judge.
No, stop.
What am I doing? Oh, no!
Dash cam video from a traffic stop near Manila, Arkansas, shows State Trooper Moises Arellano taking 18-year-old Alyssa Hackett to the ground
Turn around!
before punching her in the face. After a struggle, he handcuffs Hackett and places her in his vehicle.
You cannot punch me in my face.
Who say who? Said who?
Call my mama.
Who said I can't punch you in your face? If you resist, I can punch you. I can read you the policy.
According to a use of force report, Arellano pulled Hackett over August 1st for allegedly driving 71 miles an hour in a 60 zone with her hazard lights on. He also says he found alcohol in the car.
Why do you have a Tito's bottle? You're not even 21, are you?
Later in the video, Arellano acknowledges the bottle was sealed. He also claims Hackett was being difficult when he issued her citations. That's when he called his colleague and learned they had stopped Hackett days earlier for similar violations.
If she got an attitude, take her to jail.
Okay. All right, we'll do that.
Arellano says Hackett refused his commands.
And then she was still resisting, trying to turn around. So I tuned her up.
She now faces multiple charges, including refusing to submit to arrest. Arkansas State Police have not said whether Arellano will face any discipline.
Fucking dang. Fucking dang. You fucking make me laugh. The woman was clearly drunk and could have killed someone. Oh, dang, dang, you racist. Glenn Lowry, what's up? What he says, the law says you cannot punch people in the face. You cook your ass, cop. Yeah, look, man. First of all, the little things that get me, and you fucking Colonel, dang, you're my kind of guy. Meanwhile, Colonel doesn't know he's one of those. Just so you know, let's just say he's a little light in the loafers, Colonel. Yeah, how you gonna reconcile that, pal? Well, as long as you don't like the blacks, he's all good in my book. I don't care who dick he sucks. Good for you, Colonel. Good for you, buddy. Anyway, oh dang. All right, and Barney Bell comply completely. Jesus, guys. Okay, no, look, I everything you said, I don't disagree with.
Right.
Herein lies the problem. Number one, even if she was not complying, which I don't believe that she wasn't not complying. I believe she was complying. Okay, did she handle it like maybe a fully grown adult, should have and would have? No. With that being said, you need to match and assess threats, right?
Yeah.
Being it looked to be a fairly in shape guy, somewhat from his 20s or 30s. And that black girl seemed pretty tiny. I didn't see she was wearing like shorts and a t-shirt. She clearly wasn't packing heat. Okay. Now, could anything happen? Yup. Anything could happen.
Yep.
With that being said, I really feel that it was a terrible, terrible decision for that cop. I think he most certainly needs not only than a little talking to. I think that there needs to be outside of the union discipline. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, my thing is okay. I've said this before. Everything that happened to her, she deserved. Now, that being said, the only reason I say that is because you deserve whatever actions you initiate. Now, that doesn't mean that I think that should have happened to her. Again, you always comply. You always do exactly what the police officer says. This is not the time for you to fight back ever.
Did she fight back?
Well, I mean, you can see that she's struggling or whatever, and not. Well, we can play it.
There
back.
was movement going around for sure,
right? But
Thanks,
she obviously didn't want to go, and I don't blame her. However, like Footer said, you have to match intensity. There is no way in the world at 6+ feet and 200+ something pounds, this police officer needed to use any kind of that excessive force to put handcuffs on her and put her in the back of the car. I don't believe. But like it's people sort of don't fully understand the term deserve something. Like even if you're going to make it a positive, say nobody would have a problem with saying, my son worked really, really hard. He worked out every day. He ran. He did everything that he could, but he still came in fourth in the swim meet. But he deserved to get first place. Everybody was like, yeah, sure, he did. He put in the work. So that still works in the opposite direction. If you're driving, if you're speeding, if you're carrying alcohol in your car, if you're not willing to get out, take a breathalyzer, be around those kind of things, you deserve the.
But you're not talking about this specific case because you're inserting a lot of things.
What
you're inserting a lot that she wasn't willing to do. What did I not see? You're telling me she refused something? I didn't.
Well, again, the first thing that she did wrong was she had alcohol as a minor. Now, again, it doesn't mean that she was drunk. And also,
but now if it's sealed and never opened, is that against the law?
You're not allowed to have possession of alcohol as underneath 21. It's just you're not allowed to be in possession of it. And later on in the video, they go to show last week she got pulled over for the same exact thing, speeding or whatever, and she had alcohol on her person. but again, that's irrelevant to this. But so she initiated all of the bad things that start. You don't speed, you don't have alcohol, you comply with whatever the police officer is telling you to do. If you get out of the car, again, I understand that you don't want to be arrested, and you can fight and struggle all you want. However, when you do that, you are
sorry, that was me.
You are bringing on whatever consequences are about to happen. But that being said, the cop is out of his fucking mind to have to do any of this and to be like, well, I can punch you in the face if I want. I can do that. I have this book that says I can punch you in the face as long as you are arrested or you are doing things that I don't like. Okay, I can do that, and that's a fine. I can do that. Okay, so that's idiotic. So it's her fault that it happened, but it's his fault that it went that far. So I think both people are assholes, but he's more the asshole because he's the one in control.
And again, in today's times, with all the accusations of excessive force when it's not, this guy is really fucking up the program. You know what I'm saying? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, and that's exactly what I had said, or not didn't say, but I was sort of implying at the beginning is I want to be able to always believe all cops and give them the leniency and the benefit of the doubt. Stuff like this gives me pause to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Jen says, I'm feeling black fatigue right now. Well, stop fucking black men.
What the fuck?
Square up on me again, Rex!
Oh.
I almost did what the fuck is your problem? And I meant it though, really. And then I almost did. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I've heard that before. Now I know where I got it. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, and you know what else bothers me? I'm very big with the audio fucking like audio empathy. I hate when like people are like crying or like, especially when they talk about their mom and stuff. You know what I mean? Like I'm always like, oh. But again, she's an 18-year-old person, so it shouldn't be the same. But like, especially like, you ever see like when little kids like start crying because their parents are being assholes, and like kids just frightened and crying? Oh, that's what breaks my heart more than anything.
Well, and again, I don't think that the community of blacks have taken enough responsibility to understand that the attitude and opposition that they get from police officer is 99% their fault because of the pattern of history that them and their forefathers have laid out for 100 years. You have been consistently giving cops a hard time and doing all this stuff. So they end up getting some kind of, PTSD. Okay, I understand.
Yeah, but the problem with that, Rex, is that when the same things applied to us, we don't want it done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Well, we're going to act this way because there's been all of these years and your forefathers had, we've been treated us unjustly for so long. So again, I don't disagree with you, but I can't give that to be a nice logical explanation because it's not consistent, because I don't want them to say the same thing to me.
Well, I can say it is consistent because they have multiple issues of this every single hour of every single day. And it hasn't been, we can't say, well, we were imprisoned 100 years ago and we had Jim Crow 50 years ago. But okay, how about this past week? This past week, has there been anything this past month, this past year? No, it's a consistent pattern of behavior that the black community keeps presenting every single fucking time, or not every single time, I'm being hyperbolic, but every time they get pulled over, this continuously happens.
Yeah, I mean, again, I just don't agree, because I feel like the logic is, people using excuses for shit that I hate. They do stupid shit and they use the excuse, well, I acted this way because the white man because cops have just been doing this to us every day and killing black people over it. No, they haven't.
But yeah, there's no factual basis.
No, but they believe that it is my point. You understand what I'm saying? And they're using that to justify bad actions is what is my point. Whether it's true or not, that's what they believe, and that's going to be why they're doing it. You know my point? And so again, it doesn't, you're not. I don't disagree with. I mean, I disagree with you, but I don't think that you're wrong.
Yeah, Glenn Lowry says Arkansas State Troopers are no joke. They don't play around. And I've actually, that's one of the videos that we've been watching as a family is the Arkansas State Troopers in high speed pursuit and pulling things over. They do seem to have a little bit more of an edge than your average state trooper for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, but Colonel said my grandmother was a slave, but that was because your grandfather had a mean right hook.
How about it?
Good night, everybody. Later, peeps. Shouting out John Stevenson.
Dang, it's abuse to expect black man to be something in white man's world, not working out for black man. So what are you saying, Dang? You don't intermix when you're log slamming some dude?
Yeah. All right, what if you're a size queen? Like a nice big black juicy boop.
I always wonder, size queens eat a lot of cheese?
I don't know.
Just saying.
Well, no, wouldn't be the question. Do they stick fucking cheese up their asses?
See, that's not nearly as nuanced and funny.
Glenn Lowry says, I live in Alabama. I tell you what my grandpa used to say, whatever a Negro don't fuck up, he'll shit on so no one else wants it. I'll tell you, you know what? It's like a it's like a racist sound logic. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? It's like, I know it sounds like an oxymoron. You know, it's not good. You know, I don't like hearing it. I think it's bad to say it. Can't say it's not fucking logical.
Mm-hmm. Colonel says he's very tolerant. He'll have sex with any beautiful woman of all races.
That a boy, Colonel. Yeah, and Colonel's a handsome man. He probably bangs a lot of broads. He got that fancy.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
Yes. White man's world is not working for black man. I think at this point, I can't even. How can you even say it's a white man's world anymore? We're the most villainized fucking things on the planet. To be from fucking 35 to fucking 60-year-old white man, you're donezo. Or who am I kidding now until you're 70? You know, maybe you get the grace of the elderly as being elderly, as an older white man from somebody. But otherwise, you're fucking cooked. You're evil.
So would you like to there was a couple of things I know that we had on the board that you wanted to bring up. We have the Brandon Officer Tatum Jubilee thing, and we also have the Piers Morgan, which again I found sort of silly at the prompt because the vast majority of the juice of the material has nothing to do with James Carville.
Nothing.
Yeah. And again, it's one of those times where I can agree with Dave Smith on about 80% of everything that he's saying. Cenk, I have a hard time ever believing or agreeing with. And that's Cenk, not the woman that's there.
That fucking, you know what? And I don't like. Look, I'm not gonna be. I don't want to be racist towards the fucking towards the Orientals. But you know, like I know where they got pan face from, because oh my god, that lady's face looks like a fucking someone's grandmother's fucking cast iron fucking skillet.
Yeah, she's definitely not doing a whole lot for the stereotype.
No, she has a very, very big forehead. Very big.
It doesn't bring anything to the table.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you can use a forehead as one. Good night, everybody. Later, peeps. The thing what fucking Cenk gets me is that, you know, it's his nephew that is at the crux of everything. You know what I mean? So yeah. And I love how Cenk's answer to like, don't worry, I took care of this at Thanksgiving was his like, you know, like, well, we debate things, we call it Thanksgiving, and we debate things, and she's like, nobody cares about your personal anecdote right now. Like we if he's dumb enough to tweet the things he tweets, then you know what? He's not responsible enough to be in office. And then you say the same thing about Trump. I said it all the time. You're probably right. You know what I mean? Because he shouldn't be doing those things. I was
gonna say it's always funny to find out that again that Hassan Piker is related to Cenk Uygur, right? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Did you also I assume you know, but like you know who Dinesh D'Souza's stepson is, right?
No.
Brandon Gill, the representative from Florida.
Really? I don't think I know. I don't think I know Gil.
You would if you saw him and heard him, because he's like one of the hot shots now in the House of Reps. He's always
So he's a Republican?
Yeah. A lot of really good, real smart guy. Really has a good time.
Is he white?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. It's a stepson, I believe. Is
yeah, I know.
The kid. So, son-in-law. Oh, son-in-law. So
Okay. Yeah. I kind of, for some reason, when you were saying stepson, I was thinking son-in-law anyway.
No, well, that works out.
Yeah, kind of like Jesus in the Bible, God is in that type of thing.
And I think we also, speaking of the Bible, we also agree that Cain and Abel were bastards.
I don't know.
I thought we decided that.
I don't. Why do we have to talk about things that I told you I was worried about being blasphemous? What are you trying to do?
All right, I'm just saying. I thought I was going to say they weren't married. So
whatever. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, keep hating on Christianity.
Yeah, that's what I do. How is that hating? I'm just laying out facts.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of talking shit. Because so do you want me to pull up what I was thinking? Maybe we should do because Veronic's Gaming isn't in chat, and he's wanted us to do the Brandon thing. So the Tatum thing. So maybe we will save that, and if he comes in later, we'll end with it. If not, we can save it, or we can do it without him in a little bit. But if you want, I can bring up the. So here's what we'll do. I'll bring it up. Right, we'll run through it quick. If for some reason that echo thing happens again, then I'm just gonna take it off and then sign out so I can get the echo off me, and then fuck it, we'll just talk about something else.
Yeah, I for some reason it should. Again, I don't know. We restarted computers. I reconfigured something, and our media assets aren't doing it. So hopefully that's not going to be the case. But we can certainly give it a shot and see what happens.
Yeah, I just wanted to make that clear first. So if it happens, I'm gonna do that. Let's just do this quick.
Interesting, Glenn. And again, close your ears, Footer, if you don't want to hear possible blasphemous stuff. Cain and Abel were not bastards. Cain was bred by Adam and Eve, and then Eve had a relationship with Satan, and then you got Cain. I don't remember that in Genesis, but yeah, and Barney Bell says, I was in prison in mid-70s and 80s. I was in the mid-70s, and 80% were black, and always a problem. 3 years of misery. Well, that's what you get for race mixing, Barney.
Yeah,
as a black man, you shouldn't have been wooing and going after that white woman in the Woolsworth.
Yeah, I was a Woolsworth, I believe.
Kentucky guy. Hey, Kentucky. I'm mixed too, Scottish, German, and Norwegian. Oh, and my daughter love you. My wife is German and English. Our kids are so white they are transparent.
This is my translucent daughter, Jill. How are you?
She's right over there. No. Here, let me show.
Honey, yeah, stop standing. Honey, go stand against that black. We know it's not gonna be gentleman. Wall. He's like, we're in Kentucky. We won't allow that. All right. So
kind around here.
Yeah. All right. Let's hit play and see if you all could hear it. You can see it, okay, right?
Yeah, I got it. Yep.
All right. So let's hit play and see what we got. This is the well, you can see the tweet, right? And it's talking about James Carville. So if they're still on Carville, I'll kind of fast forward it, but it'll kind of end the Carville thing.
Isn't getting its way. What would you like to say to Mr. Uygur before we turn to the panel?
Sounds fine here.
Opinions, as Marine Corps would say, opinions are like noses. They didn't say noses, but I'm not going to say the word. Everybody's got one. You got one. I got one. The whole world. Everybody got an opinion. Oh, God, sure got an opinion. Some opinions are better than others, but that's okay.
And that comes in, by the way, that'll come into play later because later on, stupid Piers Morgan tries to explain what he meant to say, and he fucks up the same thing. He doesn't say it right either. Both of them are terrible.
Like I said, comes into territory. I'm used to it. And let's have another panel discussion on why no one talks about James Carville anymore.
Jesus Christ.
For real. And look at fucking Pierce. Looks like a fucking thoroughbred.
You have a wide range of opinions.
Hold on, let's pull him back a little. Let's get the Cenk here. All right, hold on. All right. Here's the panel. We have you have Cenk, you have fucking Dave Smith, you have Vinny from PBD, and you have some sort of fucking Pokemon card at the end. So, all right, let's see what.
Yeah, Chinkachu.
Yeah. That sounds like an Asian Charleston chew.
Absolutely does not support this current Israeli government or many of their actions. So I'm not quite sure why you think that makes him the enemy to you.
There's a couple of things there, Piers. First of all, he's on every network, so he's all over television, including this one now. So, he was much better today. But earlier, what he was saying is basically the Democrats are extreme. And it's a nonsensical point of view. It's so nonsensical, he kind of defied it today. And he's the one that was laying down ultimatums about who gets to be in the party and who doesn't. And that's absurd. So now, look, there's a.
Yeah, I was just saying, let's give a little context, too, to what he's talking about, because Cenk's nephew or something, I believe, is Hassan Piker, right?
Yeah.
And all the shit that's going on with Hassan Piker, like Fetterman and James Carville said that like they would have nothing to do with him and it would be, like he's a problem for the Democratic Party. So that's kind of where we pick up. So yeah, Rex, sorry.
This is, again, has nothing to do with the debate, but whoever's in charge of Dave Smith's studio, your lining up of the background in his head is just not very good.
He looks like a kitty cat.
The fucking hair, again, I know there's part of his thing or whatever, but he just looks like a maniac with his fucking hair way up in the air.
Yeah, or it looks like he's wearing cat ears.
Something, yeah, for sure. Like it's not a good look. So we have to do some adjustment there.
All right, well, I'll get on the horn with Dave. But anyway, that's the context of what they're talking about.
Yeah,
irony here, because in terms of those social issues, my position is actually very close to James Carville's. In fact, me and my co-host Anna Kasparian were the ones who debated people on our left who wanted to abolish prisons about 2 years ago. So we were on top of this, and we didn't want this to be, something the Democratic Party is known for at all. We thought it was a terrible idea. And in those debates, we told people, look, you guys are the only 13 people in the country who believe this nonsense. Stop pretending that you represent Democrats. But now I would say the same exact thing to James Carville, which is stop pretending that you represent all Democrats. You just don't. We have a wide range of opinions. So I don't think you should abolish prisons. I think that's mental. But good news, 99.8% of Democratic voters agree with me. By the way, 99.8% of Democratic politicians agree with me, right?
I don't know how accurate that is, by the way, just for the record.
And they may agree with you, but they're not going to espouse it because, again, this is always a power move with Democrats. They're going to go wherever the power is. So even though you may find a clip of Chuck Schumer saying this 3 years ago or even 3 months ago, he knows where the shift is coming, and he will moderate or mediate on the idea and just be like, well, we gotta listen to all sides. We're a big tent. Shut up.
I was going to say exactly what you did. He would word salad his way to cover his own ass, but yet allow whatever horrific thing happened would have to. He'd be behind it.
So some people in the party don't. Right?
Oh, sorry.
So Hassan Piker is my nephew. On Thanksgiving, we do these epic 3-4 hour debates called Janksgiving. Sometimes we do it throughout the year, and we're both in the same party, and we have these brawls about where the Democrats.
I wish you guys played jank the pin out of this hand grenade.
That should be. So what? Why does James Carville want to cancel anyone inside our own party? That doesn't make any sense. We want a broader tent. And if a couple of people got elected that believe in extreme things, and you know what?
How rich is that, huh? Like,
what's that?
Oh, well, I mean, listen, if some people got elected that are, that support a lot of extreme things, then wait, what? Excuse me?
Well, the thing is like if you and Hassan are having these epic debates, how about you fucking turn on a camera and let us watch it?
Yeah, but again, that's the attitude. Well, I mean, look, there's some psychopaths that want to do some horrific things,
sure,
possibly, ruin the country.
Yeah.
It happens. Well, hey, I mean, it's not very consistent as far as a logical fucking. Never mind. It just doesn't make sense for him to say that because he doesn't feel that way if it wasn't related to something that he agrees with.
There's 520 some odd Congress people who believe in super extreme things, like we should hand over American sovereignty to a tiny little irrelevant country named Israel. They believe in giving trillions of dollars in our money to pork barrel projects in the Pentagon, and they give $35 billion in oil subsidies away. Those are the establishment Democrats that James Carville loves, and they're a disaster, but they're still in our party, and we still try to head in the same direction. If we canceled everyone based on not agreeing with us 100%, well, then we'd have no party left. I say that to my friends on the left, and I say that to my friends on the right. So let's stay focused. And there's a super easy answer to which direction the Democratic Party should go. There's a wing of the party that is enormously popular, but almost never gets talked about, and that is not an accident. The mainstream media agrees with right-wing media in this issue. They want to try to make the left unpopular because of our stance against Israel, right? So I believe they're in cahoots, and they are purposely ignoring the most popular wing, which is the populist left, represented roughly by Ro Khanna. But by the way, Abdul El-Sayed has almost, I don't want to, spear him, but he has almost identical positions to me. And I would say very, very similar to Ro Khanna, and that's why he's endorsed by him. And what do we want? We want the most popular things in the world. We want universal health care, which almost every other nation has. We want higher wages.
You know who he's talking about, right? That Saeed guy that got put in?
Yeah, from Michigan. Yeah, the guy that ran against Mike Rogers, I think, in the Senate.
Yeah, okay.
We want to be able to negotiate drug prices. We want lower housing prices. And end all the wars and get money out of politics. Every one of these polls at over 67%. So I have a genuinely unique idea for the Democratic Party. Why don't we run on our most popular policies and all get united behind those?
One of the problems you've got, and I'll come to Vinny to respond to this because you've been quite strong on this, Vinny, but Rolling Stone's just published a feature on your nephew, Hassan Piker. Headline, Why is everyone scared of Hassan Piker? It reads, a self-described Marxist with an NSF MS Now vocabulary. He's become famous as a peddler of incendiary takes, not so much moving the Overton window as throwing a brick through it. Among his greatest hits, America Deserved 9/11. There's a lot we can learn from the Chinese Communist Party. Let the streets soak in red capitalist blood, most of which he'd later walk back if not apologize for. It goes on, Piker's a matinee handsome progressive.
That's something, though, that I love. You can walk back something, and you can apologize for something, right?
Sure. Yeah.
But then I think your actions in the future would have to not be consistent in any way with that type of an ideology. And therein lies, I think, is what the problem with Hassan Piker. He takes back these horrific things that he said that I feel like he was probably being honest about. Like he really does feel that way, right? But no. He actually condemned it, took it back, and apologized for it. But yet he's going to do other things that are parallel to that pretty much have very similar impact, just a little bit less inflammatory.
Yeah, he'll say something. I apologize for my messaging on this subject. Okay, that doesn't mean that you apologize for what you said. You're just apologizing how you said it.
Icon, who's uniquely talented at translating radical left politics for the kind of Gen Z bros. And the accompanying photo shoot has a picture of him on a motorbike and by a pool looking like a movie star. And the problem with this, I think, change is that when a lot of Americans see quotes like America Deserved 9/11, and they've been regurgitated because of Hassan's rising profile, and they say there's a lot we can learn from the Chinese Communist Party and let the streets soak in red capitalist blood. They see these quotes come back, and they think this guy is very extreme. And they believe they have a right to be fearful of people like him becoming the faces of the Democrat Party. Before I go to the current Israeli government or many of their actions. So I'm not quite sure why you think that makes him the enemy to you.
There's a couple of things there, Piers. First of all, he's on every network. So he's all over television, including this one now. So, you know, he was much better today.
Oh,
But
sorry,
earlier,
guys.
what he was saying is basically Democrats are extreme, and it's a nonsensical point of view. We told people, look, you got all the wars and
you know what? It's majority is inside these tents are freaking clowns. So Chank, you're having these Chanks giving whatever. I've said crazy stuff. You know what I've never said, Chank, in my entire life? America deserved Americans over 3,000 dying, burning to death, and jumping to their freaking death. And there's no excuse for that. Chank, I don't care. I've never said anything, and I'm pretty sure you've never said anything remotely to that. So you have these Chanks giving dinners. Do you ever talk to them about this? About this saying, you know, kill them, kill those mother effers, and those mother effers, let the streets soak in their effing blood. If you cared about Medicare or Medicare fraud, kill Rick Scott. My nephew, who's 5 years old, said the F word, and my brother called me the other day, and I told him off, like as a child, but like in a respectful way. I said, don't you ever use bad words, and don't do that. I'm curious in these little dinners, you're not talking to him about that, Chank, to say that as a New Yorker, and how embarrassed and how ashamed I am that these people like AOC are like, no, yeah, he said he's sorry. There's some things, Piers, that you can say you're sorry for, that deep down inside you're saying that he's over it. He just removed one of the photos he has in his stream room, and he put the World Trade burning. Okay, so don't give me this. He forgot. But you know how we got to this point? Piers is populist, whatever. All these Hassans and everything is because people like James Carville, for the past 10 years, all it's been is Trump. Trump is Hitler. We're Nazis. We're deplorables. And now, when the TDS dust has settled, look who they're left with. Look who they're left with. The AOCs, the Mamdanis, the El Abdul, whatever the hell his name is, that want to abolish ICE. They want to defund the police. They want open borders. And when you mention the SAVE Act, it's racist. How dare you ask people to prove that they're here because Kamala Harris and the...
Vinny's 100% right.
Yeah. And you can tell the Chinese woman to the left of him is very, very happy or tired or sad, angry, mean. I don't know. Do you think like there's no way in the world that like anybody other than Chank has ever uttered the word Thanksgiving? Like there's no way. Hey, come on, everybody. Yeah, let's put down our tofu turkey and let's have ourselves a Thanksgiving, okay, everybody? That doesn't.
Yes, that's like like come on, guys, come over to my house this year. I'm having a Thanksgiving. Oh fuck! I'll be using that. Let's be realistic. I'll be fucking using it.
Dude, that's fucking hilarious.
Biden administration left the border open for 4 years on purpose, and this is it. Okay, so I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. When you say stupid shit like America deserved 9/11, and AOC yesterday was like, yeah, but he said he's sorry. Nonsense. He's not sorry because he believes it. He says he's not patriotic. He dresses up like Mao Zedong, like that's his hero, cosplaying a freaking mass murderer. It's a joke. It's a joke, and people like James Carville saying, oh, I'm excited, and we got talent. Gavin Newsom is your number one, AOC's number two, and Kamala's number three. Talent my ass, Piers. And I'm sorry for cussing, but it drives me crazy. That's the Democratic Party for you.
Vinny, I've missed you too. Love the passion.
I love you.
Dave Smith, welcome back to us, Dave Smith.
Can I address that?
Truly, I've got to say, it is a fascinating time for people like me that love American politics who are not actually American. Because on the right, you have this enormous split between the Tucker Carlson side, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massey and others, and the rest of the MAGA crowd. And on the left, you have this enormous split now between the Mamdanis, the El Sayeds, the AOCs, and the more mainstream Democrats, the Carvilles of this world. And it's very hard to predict how this all plays out. But what do you make of what is happening here?
Yeah, well, I mean, certainly, I think the Democratic Socialists are ascendant on the left, and I would really largely agree with both Cenk and Vinny's critiques of the establishment of the Democratic Party, and it's just so obvious to me. And it's amazing to watch an interview with James Carville where he talks about how why are people embracing wokeism, or why are they embracing democratic socialism or anti-Israel feeling, and as if we're supposed to ignore what the Democratic establishment's been doing this entire time, which was all through the Obama years, embracing and expanding George W. Bush's failed war on terrorism, giving us record high government spending, record low artificial interest rates, which created a cocktail that was just a gift to Wall Street. It was nothing but bailouts to the politically connected and to Wall Street. As Vinny pointed out, they had the open borders. They went the establishment of the Democratic Party back to back to back, went all in on Russiagate, the lockdowns, and the COVID vax, and got all of them completely wrong while smearing the rest of the country for not buying into it. I mean, just everything. The war in Ukraine, they went all in and got the whole thing completely wrong. I mean, so obviously the wind is at the back of everyone who just simply opposed the genocide in Gaza, or just.
So that's a good point Dave's making, and think about it. What did he say that isn't really just 100% the truth? You know what I mean? Sure. I don't think he said anything that was even being hyperbolic there. You know what I mean? That's pretty straight facts. The problem is watch the watch the dynamic that only Dave Smith can do. And he's just so good at it. You have anything before I hit it?
No, okay.
Simply oppose the open borders, or just like, this is where all the energy is now. But I gotta say, I really find a lot lacking in kind of Cenk's broad defense of a lot of this stuff. Look, there's something so inherently dishonest about this entire democratic socialist movement, starting with the fact that Bernie Sanders, who first popularized it, is not a democratic socialist and doesn't even know what democratic socialism means. I mean, Cenk, you must have seen when he was on Bill Maher's show, what was it, last year, a little over that, and they asked him about the difference, his position between equality versus equity. He had never heard the terms before. He was completely deer in the head, like, how does anyone live in this world and not have a thought? It's like if you asked me about the non-aggression principle and I hadn't heard of it. What are you talking? This is your entire life's work. Bernie Sanders claims to be a democratic socialist, runs as essentially a welfarist. We should have a higher minimum wage and universal health care. Well, that's basically just being a liberal Democrat.
But that's the thing. Whose fault is that? Is that Bernie Sanders' fault, or is it just show you how extreme the real left can be?
Well, that's the thing. Like Bernie is even though he kind of plays the dumb guy, he's very smart. He understands like where power can be grabbed from. Like he giving out, or at least not actually giving out, but promising free things, or saying that there is an oppressor and you're the oppressed. He knows that no matter how it plays out, playing those cards will always get you the votes, because people who want free stuff always want more free stuff. So even though you don't deliver, and to my chagrin, he has delivered on some, always promising that will almost always get you into office.
Yeah. What do you have to say? If can you answer Dang on this one? What is your thoughts on this?
America is not a capitalist country. You have central planning capitalism. Simply means free enterprise. When has America ever had that? Never. Well, again, we are a capitalist society. Our economic sector is set up that way. However, it has been compromised and hamstrung by litigation that has sort of watered that down. The monopoly things, the monopoly laws, minimum wage, and even something as controlling the people when they run a business, who can come in, who could come out. Like it's been modified to where it's not free enterprise, free market capitalism anymore. It's a modified version of it again, unfortunately.
Yeah. And Glenn Lowry says they think our flag is racist. They hate our flag. They think the United States don't have enough people here. Everybody in the world should be able to come here and take care of them. Yeah. I mean, that's what they do think. That's the scariest part about it. But anyway, Dave Smith, again, you'll see a shift here.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it.
He uses the term where Professor Richard Wolff and Bhaskar Sankara, they'll tell you that they mean revolution, democratizing the entire workplace, outlawing all employers. Well, hey, so now these guys don't run as revolutionaries. They
real quick, what do you think? Just quick, can you guess where the shift is going to come?
I haven't yet, but I'm waiting.
Oh, okay. You know, put it that way. You know,
run is, hey, we're just talking about the unaffordability crisis, but they use the term democratic socialist. It's a dishonest thing that liberals and leftists have always done, which is that you frame the debate as whether we want free stuff or not. You frame the debate as whether you believe in free healthcare, free education, when, of course, my 7-year-old could understand that there's no such thing as free anything. As long as doctors are getting paid and teachers are getting paid and construction workers are getting paid, someone's paying for it. The debate is over whether you think that the violence of the state ought to be used to confiscate your wealth through taxation, and then bureaucrats and politicians will decide how to give it back to you, or you believe in a free market system. But as soon as you start going to this free healthcare, free education, well, then why shouldn't the Democratic Socialist run to the left of James Carville and say, I'm for more free stuff? I'm for all the free stuff you're for, plus a whole lot more free stuff. The bottom line here is that anybody who thinks we need more government has lost the plot. The federal government's about to spend $7.5 trillion this year. We are going bankrupt. It is infantile for us to be having conversations about what more government programs we should be giving out to people right now. We're destroying the dollar, trying to keep up with the entitlements in the warfare state that we cannot afford right now.
You had your breakfast this morning, didn't you, Dave?
Well, Vinny said he missed you, and then I missed Vinny, and I got going.
I miss you too.
Lindy Lee, welcome back to
Let's get past this, bro.
Seventh, then we could say, people say stupid things like
aliens in our country. They also want to abolish America.
A guy that hates America like that, don't do it. Let her finish, please.
Cenk, I didn't interrupt
But
you.
she's making things up. Go ahead, keep making things up.
He literally
about
said it. I
Hassan's state
didn't put
of
the
mind.
words into his mouth.
You don't know it.
He was an adult. He was an adult who said those words. You should be held responsible. This is the same. This is the same party that espouses cancel culture, but suddenly for Hassan Piker, we just give him the pass. Why?
Yeah, but it was a stupid thing to say. It was a stupid thing to
No,
say.
who's
He's
giving him a
acknowledged it was a
pass?
stupid thing to say. He's acknowledged it was a stupid thing to say. And as soon as all those Democratic establishments run everybody out who said Gaza
Here we
deserved
go.
what they got after October 7th, then we could talk. You know, people say stupid
Here we
things like this
go.
all the time. So there's so much to take on Hassan. I just like, why just harp on this one dumb thing that he said? Look, more
Because
recently,
it's not just
this
one
is
dumb
what's-
thing. It's
yes, that's
such a
my point.
damning
Yeah, but
thing
you're
to say.
harping on a
If you
bad
want to
one.
hold the
But
same
you're-
standard,
okay, I'm gonna make
why
your-
you guys
I'm gonna make your point
Donald
better
Trump
than you.
such a hard
Just
time
let me
about
hold on.
Obviously, Dave got set off because something came up with the Jews.
No. Instead of, oh God. Instead of cutting me off, just let me make the point better than you. Cenk, he is on record, though, quite openly, when he discusses Mao Zedong, he goes, yeah, man, I mean, there were some excesses, absolutely. Like, I don't think he should. But hey, he industrialized China and all this. And I got to say, brother, you know that I love and respect you, Cenk. So you got to understand, dude, that's freaking concerning for people. You know, the fact that these types, whatever you want to call it, the left maximalist types, if they were to look at the Industrial Revolution in England or in the United States of America, they have nothing to say except for exploitation, capitalist wage theft, grueling labor conditions. But when it comes to Mao Zedong, who's slaughtering people by the tens of millions, starting pointing guns at people's heads and forcing them off of farms into factories, we go, well, hey, man, I mean, he did build a factory at the end of that. I'm sorry, dude, but like if someone's talking about Adolf Hitler that way, you would immediately have alarm bells going off, going like, whoa, what? And this is a thing that people are creeped out about. There's something in Mom Donnie, there's something in a lot of these guys where, why do I see a video from you 5 years ago and you have a thick
This is what
African
I love all
accent?
this.
Why were you a completely different person a few years ago? What's going on here? It's a reasonable question for people to ask.
I have to say this. I'm sorry.
You'll see that. You'll see
You
it's
know who
not
else
yet.
Mao
I,
Zedong murdered? He murdered my great grandfather in cold.
Don't care.
Mean it. He's secretly lying. He's this, he's that. No, did I talk to him about it? We talked to him about it instantly. He came on the Young Turks instantly back then and said, look, obviously I didn't mean it that way. And Vinny, the irony there is that what he meant and what he clarified is something that you largely agree with, which is that we're in the Middle East too much. And there's no need for us to go and provoke people there. There's no need for us to waste our military, lose American soldiers' lives. So, you know, that's the thrust of the argument, and that's been lost now. And why do we constantly going back to a couple of things that he said that are outrageous? Because it's smear by proxy. The reality is that establishment media does not really care about Hassan. They care about smearing Abdul El Said and all the other candidates that Hassan campaigns with. This is the same exact thing they did with me and Bernie Sanders. Hold on, Piers. Can I finish something? Okay, this is the same exact smear they did to me in 2020. This is the same exact smear they do to all outsiders. You guys are suckers. They're going to do to you next.
Yeah, but I can
and you know
defend my
what?
statements,
People
Cenk.
do it to
Just
people.
defend
People
what I
hold
stand for.
people. Look, here's what I would say, Cenk. People hold me to account for what I actually say all the time. If I had said America deserved 9/11, trust me, people would still be talking about it and demanding that my visa gets ripped up. So these comments matter. It is good that he withdrew them, but the defense, not a defense.
Bullshit that they matter. Can I explain? Okay,
well, no, I want you to talk about Mao Zedong.
let me point out the hypocrisy in an overwhelming and empirical way.
Explain his comments about Mao Zedong, because they are extremely concerning.
Okay, that's a second issue, which I'm going to get to in a second. But first, on the smear by proxy. Okay, no. Why isn't anybody asking?
Oh, it was like he heard me laugh at him.
Yeah.
As soon as I left, he's like, no.
Wait.
Bullshit. Well, for the bullshit.
It's
Bullshit.
Cenk's
Let me finish.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody.
Mike Rogers, hey, do you denounce Benjamin Netanyahu? You're taking, not only are you campaigning with the Israeli lobby,
look at Dave.
You're associated with the Israeli lobby. You take
Here
money
comes
from
Davey
the Israeli
boy.
lobby. You are legally bribed by the Israeli lobby. So do you denounce the butcher of Jerusalem that has murdered 23,000 children? That is a very legitimate question, but somehow mainstream media can't ask that question.
How cool is that nickname, though?
Which one?
The Butcher of Jerusalem?
Oh, that is good.
Badass.
I can't wait
Like
for fucking Israel bots.
Damn it. You beat me. That's where I was going.
Sorry.
Fine.
Why didn't they ask Kamala Harris? Do you denounce Dick Cheney, who brought torture back, who got hundreds of thousands of people killed? Instead, they're like, oh, you're so wonderful for bear hugging Dick Cheney. Why didn't anybody get asked, don't you denounce Henry Kissinger?
Nice way to start criticizing people you supported at one point.
Yeah, right.
Cenk.
So these are actual murderers who have slaughtered tens or hundreds of thousands of people, but yet mainstream media doesn't do smear by proxy there. They never ask that question. Oh, what did Hassan say? What did Cenk say? Well, by the way, what did Tucker Carlson say? What did Marjorie Taylor Greene say? Notice that they always do this.
How about play a little whataboutism, Cenk? Why don't you, buddy? Why don't you? Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
No, I just said he doesn't do that.
Outsiders, to people who are not insiders, but mainstream media is so disgusting
true,
and corrupt
Cenk. It's
that
not
they
true.
protect the insiders
not
like Mike
true.
Rogers. And we
It's
all
not
agree.
true.
Everyone on
It's
this
not
panel
true.
agrees to that. Everyone on
No,
this
hold
panel
on, Cenk, you
agrees
never
the
answered
real
Pierce's
welfare
question.
queens. Everyone on this
If a
panel
Republic-
agrees that the
Cenk.
real welfare queens are Israel, who've been robbing us blind.
Cenk.
Can we all agree? By the way, Hassan
Cenk.
agrees with us that we should all stop the
Cenk.
robbery. And look, Piers, I
Cenk.
am in the
Lady,
what
he's
would you
talking
say,
to you.
Cenk? In this
What would you
coalition-
say?
Hold on.
What
In
would you
this
say, Cenk?
coalition, we have Tucker Carlson and we have Hassan Piker. They don't agree on a lot of things, and I don't agree with Tucker Carlson's LGBTQ issues. I don't
know.
agree with Hassan on the Mao comments, but we're in the anti-war coalition. Let's stick together. Let's get Israel out of our government, defund it, end the wars, get money out of politics, and then we can go back to these nonsense fights that don't matter because
Can you have one
on
conversation
the
without
truth
talking
is-
the
about
left or the
Israel?
right.
Hang on,
because
please.
it's so
Hang on.
Yeah, like the thing is like again, I've said 100 times that I don't care what Israel does, just don't involve us unless it has something to do with our best interest involved. But I love how they're using this. We need to get rid of Israel because of how much they're robbing from our coffers. Okay, it's like again, even if you're going to be $5 billion, that's nothing. Has nothing to do for you with money or you just don't like Israel. So like using this sort of like, well, I really, really hate Israel. I don't like the Jews at all. But my main problem is because they're costing us $3 billion a year. That's just disingenuous.
And all of that is stemming from the question about his nephew. So
Right.
even are you telling me we forgive his nephew and somehow put him in power because Israel's horrible? Interesting.
Right.
Hang
And
on, please.
Like
I
what?
said, even the examples that he's bringing up where it's like, they got tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. Okay. Mao is probably about 30 million. So even your example doesn't even hold water.
Hang on, please. I want to ask Cenk a simple question. Yeah, hang on. Cenk, you say that the mainstream media wouldn't go after somebody for saying, difficult things or difficult positions or whatever. I just don't think it's true. If Donald Trump came out with the comments about Mao Zedong that your nephew did, all hell would break loose. And what Dave Smith rightly has asked you is, he said a dumb thing. He said a dumb thing about America and 9/11, and he came on your show immediately and retracted it. Okay, but as Dave said, the mindset which goes out of its way to minimize the actions of the most genocidal monster in the history of planet Earth is very concerning. And as your nephew's star rises and he gets a big feature in Rolling Stone magazine and becomes the face of the progressive left and so on, it is completely legitimate to ask why he would seek to minimize what Mao Zedong did. And I'm curious whether you as his uncle have an answer to that question.
Again, we don't speak for one another, so I don't like Mao at all. I mean, to Vinny's point, my wife's grandparents on both sides, grandfathers on both sides, were in Chiang Kai-shek's army.
Them over that, and then we'll find any other thing they can to discredit.
So
Not really, though,
against all of us. So
I'm not
okay, you don't
even
agree with him
trying
on
to
Mao.
smear-
I don't agree with him on Mao. So what?
No, but it's not, again, the point I was getting at, it's not to smear him or to cancel it. I just want people to stake out their positions clearly. And look, I get your point, brother. Like, I think I probably agree with almost everything you said in that rant. It just never addressed like my concern. And like, so listen, obviously, as you know, I'm not the guy who's trying to smear someone for being an anti-war critic. And of course, you know that I know that, of course, a huge percentage of the opposition to your nephew and to Mamdani and all of this is just blatant Israel supporters who want to ruin him over that. And then we'll find any other thing they can to discredit them. The point is that Hassan has also given him a ton of low-hanging fruit. And I'm asking the question about the mentality here. Because, brother, I am with you if you're talking about how our money shouldn't go to funding a genocide or fighting a stupid war on behalf of a foreign country that is bankrupting and destroying our country. And I'm with you on the fact that screw any of them for getting morally outraged about anyone. You sit on the corpses of innocent dead children. You talk to me about any moral outrage about what a streamer said on the stream. That being said, man, whether the factories are owned by individual capitalists or whether they are owned by the central state is the difference between whether people die by the tens of millions or not. And that is true every single time that it's played out. And there is a movement on the left here who is flirting with these ideas as if they are serious. And I'm telling you right now, Jake, if these people like your nephew were to real deal get control of our Department of Agriculture, I'll be siding with the neocons against you because that's even worse. That's even worse than the warfare state is real deal.
Good for fucking Dave.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, like with, and again, it seems sort of odd that this whole panel is talking about Hassan Piker and asking Cenk to sort of defend him when you should just have Hassan on to do this. Like it doesn't, I don't really fully understand it. And I think that Cenk is at sort of a disadvantage because I don't think that he fully agrees, at least openly, with a lot of things that Hassan says. But like even if you're going to say Hassan, he misspoke about 9/11, he was wrong about, Mao. He went to China and espoused China. He went to Cuba and espoused Cuba. All of his policies line up exactly with the ideology that would come out and say, we deserve 9/11, and we deserve, Mao had a couple of good things going. Like all of his thought processes follow the same path. So to say like these things that he had said about Mao and 9/11 were sort of offshoots of that is incorrect, because if you follow everything that he says, the likely outcome is what he said about 9/11 and Mao.
You're 100% right. This exactly lines up with the point that I was making before. You know what I'm saying? As far as, again, you apologize for something, that's great. But then as Rex pointed out, I said earlier, everything else that you've done since is consistent with we deserve 9/11.
State socialism, the worst invention in the history of humanity by far, no close second. And here you guys are, for some reason, you have a softness to it. It blows my mind. It's
no, I
don't.
The same. No, but Dave. You're constantly listen. You hold on, real quick. Look, Dave, you can debate Haas on Mao. I could debate Haas on Mao, and I have, right?
We're supposed to, by the way. I want to say
what I don't want people. What I don't want, and you can, and Dave, and I might be, and Dave, I'm probably on your side on that debate, but. Guys, this is giving a misleading impression. There are 0 Democratic candidates in favor of Mao. Okay, 0. So I don't want people saying, hey, I don't agree with Hassan on that, and hence that represents the whole Democratic Party. It definitely does not. So as long as you're not conflating Hassan's most radical position with all Democrats, no, it's a big tent. Almost no one, and certainly none of the politicians, agree with him on that issue. So he's pushing the Overton window, you push it back, and that's a normal debate. Nobody's got to get canceled.
That's simply not true. Mamdani is on the record saying that he wants to seize the means of production. This is not just, it's not someone's fanciful of people. Well, guess what?
Shut up, broad.
You guys are helping when you try, and by the way, people on the left then try to help cancel Tucker Carlson and Marjorie Taylor Greene, and it drives me crazy. Don't do that. Don't feed into the establishment sphere by proxy.
Cheng, you are conflating cancelling with making somebody accountable. If somebody is a rising political star, as Hassan indisputably is, then his stuff that he said on the record should be held to proper microscopic account to see what he actually believes.
No problem.
And he's minimalizing of Mao's outrages and genocidal monstrosity is a very concerning part of his record. We could talk about this for hours, but I'm not going to.
You can debate Hassan, but don't make it seem like all Democrats agree with him, because that's.
Well, can you tell Hassan to come on?
Don't make it. Abdul al-Sayed never said any of those things.
All right,
and you know that tomorrow on CNN they're going to pretend that Abdul said it.
Cenk, I would love to have Hassan on for some baffling reason.
Regular people who think.
Hang on, Dave. I would like to take up Hassan's uncle's offer to have Hassan on. I'm available anytime he'd like to come on Uncensored, because at the moment he keeps saying no.
There you go, Rex.
Yeah, so and if you could put a good word in, Cenk, I'd appreciate.
The thing is yes, a lot of the Democratic voters, the non hard leftist voters, probably don't agree with what Hassan Piker says. A lot of the politicians that are in office right now don't agree with what Hassan says. However, if it becomes the case that Hassan Piker and El Sayed and AOC and Bernie Sanders and Mamdani's view start to hold sway with the voters or sway in the public eye, they will all go down that road, because it has nothing to do with ideology. It's all about power. So you have to stop these things on the left-hand side in the bud, because they eventually take over the party, which is why I've said 100 times, if anybody's been in office for more than 20 years, you can find them arguing both sides of every single debate.
Yeah. Again, I mean, as you see, there's a lot of little talking points. They don't really go into too much more. Vinny rants a little bit, but the same shit. But yeah, it's just amazing to me how it's not clear that this guy, plus this whole Muslim thing that I've been talking about for how long now, this isn't something that we need. We can't sleep on this. I've been fortunate that I've been like very invested over 18 months, almost 2.5 years, even at the most, in investigating Islam. And look, this is a problem.
It is.
Bottom line, you have mainstream ideology. Excuse me. You have this ideology coming from people that have a mainstream reach right now to millions and millions of people that are saying such horrible things and lean into them, as there's this Islamic movement trying to infiltrate, that's actually infiltrating the UK and trying to force itself here in places like Dearborn, Michigan, and such. So, it's scary. It's not something that we should be taking lightly, and I've tried to explain this over and over to everybody.
VG, Jen and I both get out on the right side of the bed. You can figure out why. It has nothing to do with the conversation. I was just talking to Chad.
Nice. All right. Do you want to do a quick? Do you want to do one prompt of Tatum?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Let me get that pulled up.
Yeah, while you're doing that, I'll say, as far as we know, the debate with Andrew Wilson and Candace Owens is going to happen on Friday. We are going to hopefully, depending on timing or whatever, do a live reaction to it. It has been announced that PBD, Patrick Bet-David, is going to be the moderator for this, which I think is a great choice. And if it does break either way, I think it breaks to Andrew's advantage, because PBD is like OCD on facts. He's not going to allow anything other than facts to be presented. Also, Andrew Wilson has started a crowdsourcing thing to recover some, because he's already paid Candace the $300,000 that he had promised. So if you like we are really wanting this debate, go to Andrew Wilson's page, give him some money, because it's worth it. This is the debate that we've all wanted, and we should kick up a little bit to pay back Andrew, because he's doing us a world of good. So we'll actually put the link out there in our description later.
And I'm very surprised that I'm pleasantly surprised that it's going down. I think PBD was a good choice. I am admitting that I was wrong about thinking Michael Knowles had to take this gig.
So did I. I'm wrong, right with you.
Yeah. I did hear his response, but I don't remember the exact reasonings why he said he didn't want to do it. I don't even know if it matters at this point, but I'm really excited for it. I cannot fucking wait for this thing to happen. And again, Colonel said Candace will flake. Colonel, I'm still saying I agree. I don't think it's happening, and I think that she's going to say it has something to do with pregnancy. That's my whole thing.
And there's a lot of things that that I'm waiting to watch. I think that Andrew's tack should be to sort of try to reframe the debate to be more towards critiquing what Candace thinks. Candace will wisely make that no. This debate and the prompt was the state's case against Tyler Robinson. It has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. Andrew, as we all know, is very, very good at getting people's ire up. So if he can do that, and with Candace being almost 8 months pregnant, there could be some pretty massive fire. And again, it may all just be a big show, and actually prove nothing. Again, the biggest advantage that Andrew has here, apart from being a seasoned debater and one of the best in the country, if not the best, is that he has all the facts on his side. So that's going to be hard to sort of overcome.
Yep. No, again, I'm excited. I can't wait. All right. So basically this prompt right here, I pulled the girl in the beginning I didn't like. So this is Office Tatum, and the prompt is Trump and Republicans are better for the black community than the Democrats. Interesting, right?
Yep.
That's right up your alley.
It
All
is.
right, buddy. Let's see. And this guy, this liberal here on the right, he's not a dummy. He was okay. Here we go.
To sellouts who promote a message that harms black people.
Who is that? Who is the sellout that you give me an example?
Well, there are actually quite a few, but I'll start with the
Well, let's start with this premise. The first black legislators,
right?
The first black people in Congress, House of Representatives were all Republicans.
Right. So let me explain that to you.
Is that a fact pattern?
Right. Yes. So basically what happened is the last of the radical Republicans, which was a segment of the Republican Party that passed the 14th Amendment, all of the amendments that gave black people the right to vote and ensured that slaves would not be disenfranchised. He died in August.
No. Black people, Republicans unanimously voted.
He died in 1868 when the 14th Amendment was passed.
The
And then
Republicans
guess what?
as a whole
Right.
voted unanimously.
No.
Democrats did not.
Right. But guess what? After the radical Republican faction left Congress,
Radical Republican.
They were a historic. No. That's a title. They were historic.
Who was the radical Republican faction?
They were a segment of the Republican Party that Thaddeus Stevens. He's an example. They are the ones who created the Freedmen's Bureau, which was designed to assimilate ex-slaves into the national citizenry. After they left, the Republican Party constructed an oligarchy, which we called the Gilded Age, and in which we saw the fate of black people decline. Black home ownership decline. Black voting decline.
I hope they fact check you on
all
this.
of that.
The Republicans unanimously voted.
No, not after that.
The Republicans unanimously.
Okay, so the fact check. Can you see it? You want me to read it?
Yeah, if you could. I can't see it.
All right. So the fact check says the radical Republicans were a faction of the Republican Party during the Civil War and Reconstruction, committed to abolishing slavery and securing civil and political rights, including voting rights for black men. They did not disappear in 1868, although their influence declined during the early 1870s. Some remained active in the mid 1870s. So I think Tatum is right there, correct?
Yeah, and the other guy is also correlating the fact that after the Civil War or the Civil Rights Amendment was passed, or after the 14th Amendment, that the decline in the numbers of the positive numbers for the black had something to do with the Republicans doing this. And again, I think we've talked about it many times that the decline has to do a lot with later on the civil rights movement. And again, giving a wheelchair to people who didn't need it, so to speak.
Yeah. No, I don't
voted for the 13th, 14th, and 15th
Yes,
Amendment.
under the leadership of the radical Republicans, and they were
Republicans
progressives.
unanimously voted for the Civil Rights
Yes,
Act.
and then after the radical Republicans left, they stopped doing that.
When did the radical Republicans leave? You saying the radical
1868, the last person died.
That's
Yes.
not true.
It is 100% true.
Because
Now,
the
but wait,
Republicans
let me
unanimously
get
voted
back to what
for
I
the
was
Civil
saying.
Rights
Let me-
Act.
The fact check says historical estimates also indicate that black homeownership rose overall from about 8% in 1870 to 24% in 1910, despite severe discrimination.
Let me get back to what I was saying.
Did Republicans unanimously vote for Civil Rights
You're
Act?
bulldozing and you're steamrolling because you don't want to hear what I have to say.
Let's quantify the point.
Listen, brother.
Did Republicans
listen to
unanimously
what I
vote
have
for
to
the
say.
Civil Rights Act?
Listen to what I have to
Why
say.
won't you
Then
answer
you're going to
that question?
respond to it, okay?
Why won't you answer that question?
Booker T. Washington was fated by the
Great
white
wrestler.
racist establishment. He had tea at Windsor
Also invented
Castle
peanut butter.
by Queen Victoria. He met Susan B. Anthony. He was allowed to create the Tuskegee Institute because he was promoting this myth of personal responsibility,
It wasn't
which
a myth.
harms black people.
The most
Yes,
successful
it is.
documented black man who lifted so many black people from poverty to success was Booker T. Washington.
No,
The Tuskegee
he did not.
Institute
Jim
was
Crow,
incredible
Jim
for black
Crow,
success in
the
America.
institutionalization of Jim Crow was a direct result of his false
it's not.
message.
What was his false message?
His message
Personal
was that
responsibility?
black people were not fit to participate in the political process.
not true.
Because slavery had set them backwards.
Where do
and
you
so
see
all of
that
the
Booker
black
T. Washington mentioned
congressmen,
that?
it's in his book.
You said he mentioned that black people were not fit to
Yes, that
participate
is
in
the whole
No, it's
thesis of
not.
Up From Slavery.
No, it's
Did you
not.
read the book?
I did not read the book.
There you go. Then you don't know what you're talking about.
I know other.
Let me tell you
I
something,
know
brother.
other
I am a
things.
history teacher.
Let me finish what
I
I'm
teach
saying.
in the public school
Let me
system.
finish what I'm
You are
saying.
uneducated.
Let me finish what I'm saying. You cannot
you don't
teach
know
in the
what you're
public school
talking
system
about.
if you're telling me that Republicans did not unanimously vote for the 13th, 14th, 15th Amendment and the Civil Rights
You
Act.
are being given
You cannot tell me you're a teacher if you are not, and you do not understand.
You are
Wait,
lying
guys,
about
do not
the
talk over each other. We
Republicans-
can't hear anything either you were saying.
He's not allowing me to make a single point.
Because I'm making points.
No, because you're afraid.
Of what?
Of the truth.
I just
That's
explained
what-
to you.
When
I
you
just
earn,
explained to you.
when
Why
you
can't
earn a
you
living
answer-
off of lies, you are afraid of the
Give me
truth.
a lie that I'm told.
The idea that Republican policies benefited black people, and that
I
is
just
not
gave
true.
you Republican policies.
No, let me give you an example.
Give me examples that they've hurt black people.
He was right as per the fact check, correct?
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
I'll give you an example. During the Hoover administration, 43% of the
Great
black people
vacuum.
were employed in domestic work. And the reason for that is because they were shut
A
out.
damn
of
good
true
damn.
gainful
Good night,
employment.
everybody.
And the segment who was hurt the most were black men. Black women could get jobs as maids and things of that sort. But black men, any job that gave them the opportunity for social dignity, value, and worth, they were systematically denied. And a lot of it had to do with Booker T. Washington's message. Now, guess what?
Booker T. Washington's message
has been harmful.
That I have.
You have not
I've
read the
read
book.
Portions of his message.
No, read the whole book.
I will read the whole book. But you cannot sit here and tell me that Booker T. Washington's message was disenfranchising to black people.
And guess what?
That's not true.
Guess what he acknowledges in his book?
So the Tuskegee Institute was detrimental to black people.
Guess what he said?
No, was the Tuskegee
Yes, it was. And let me tell you why.
People?
He acknowledged that the people in Tuskegee, Alabama, the white community there, only allowed him to create that institute because he assured them he would not be teaching them anything that would lift them out of domestic status, anything that pertained to higher education, any knowledge of their history, or just the humanities, anything that.
I mean, really, is that a known thing?
Well, that's what I was going to say. I'd like to see the fact check on that, because I can't imagine that Booker T would be like, yeah, we're going to build a college, but only keep everybody at like a 9th grade level. You know, above that, we can't do that.
And if it wasn't public, what somebody was privy to this private conversation and it snuck out?
White people took for granted in normal universities. It was designed to keep black people oppressed. That was the point.
Up from slavery. Booker T. Washington had a message of black success and personal accountability and responsibility.
And
he did not depend on the government to do the things that black people could already do.
Yes, he did deny on the government.
He did not.
Yes,
he did not make his mission and his plan to say that black people should depend on the government.
This is the lie for everybody who is listening to me. The lie is that black people should focus solely upon family and their economic status and ignore agitations for social equality. No, and he actually says, in that book that agitations for social equality are the extremist folly because black people are not prepared to be social equals to white people. He actually says that. That has been the program of the Republican Party ever since then.
First of all, that's a lie.
And now, guess what else happened? That's a lie. So,
why did the Democrats have, until Cory Booker recently, had the longest filibuster against the Civil Rights Act?
Right, I'll tell you why.
Longest in history.
So basically what happened is prior to that act, there were a number of Dixiecrats who were the inheritors.
Racist Democrats.
I'll tell you, the inheritors of slavery, chattel slavery, and then the Jim Crow era that
Racist
took its
Democrats.
place. Guess what? After those acts, the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act were passed,
unanimously by Republicans.
There was a 20 to 30% shift away from the Democratic Party into the Republican Party. And then, surprisingly, Nixon begins his war on drugs, which is a part of his law and order program. And guess what happens? Black people become 6 to 7 times higher to be arrested for drug abuse versus white people. They are mass incarcerating us, and it is directly tied to Republican policy.
Okay, we have to pause here. You haven't voted out by the majority. Thank you so much. If you would like to be the next debater again.
What do you think of that?
I like it. I think the guy on the right is being a lot disingenuous and doing a lot of causation correlation kind of flip-flopping there. But the entire time he didn't really allow Tatum to sort of flesh out his idea. And again, I understand that's sort of like you have to do that in these sort of things. You have to keep talking. Which is why I enjoy these for the entertainment purposes, but as far as actually fleshing out ideas and actually having a healthy debate on both sides doesn't really happen, but they are certainly enjoyable.
Yeah, and that's why I think that if we if and when we do watch them part of the show, that we do it for the reason of we flush it out. You know what I'm saying? It's good to have some things that trigger us, and we can always flush them out for the conversation. But either way, we can do more of that at another time, because I know it's getting kind of late for to dip into a new one. But yeah, I'll tell you, man, fucking there's a lot of shit going on right now that we could definitely tackle. Not today, obviously, but it's a lot scarier, I think, than we talk about all the time. And I do mean about these Muslims, and I do find that people are finally waking up to it.
Yeah,
that I kind of like. Things that you and I have been talking about for a long time is now becoming like this mainstream thing. Obviously, I'm not attributing that to us, but my point is, of course, as you should. But you know what I'm saying? Like, haven't you noticed that? We've been talking about I've been bothering you about the Muslim shit for 2 years already.
Islam is 100% the biggest threat to this country right now.
Amen.
And Western culture in more broadly.
for sure. And they've allowed this Islamophobic rhetoric and this label to be thrown as a shield. You understand what I'm saying? And I, for one, that's why I'm not. I don't care. I'm not scared to say, the area I live. I'm not scared to say that Prophet Muhammad's a piece of shit. Like I'm, I'll go down with the ship on this. You know what I mean? Like I'm not scared of being fucking martyred for calling that a piece of shit religion, and I will continue to do that because sometimes you need to have voices that are going to be maybe a little bit harsh, but I'll accept each and every one of the people. And if they want to come to Christ, that's great. But you have to get rid of Islam for me to be okay with you. I'm not going to trust you. There's too many things that your religion teaches you to be deceitful, and if you don't see that in your religion, then unfortunately you're probably not really a Muslim. Because even if you're Quran only, which is not what the main problems are, you're still a problem. But it's really these what do they call them, the Sufis, these Salafi, the Salafi, I believe it's called, the Sunnis, those Sunni fucking Salafi Muslims, they're a fucking problem. They're a fucking problem.
I mean, Quran, magic marker, your coloring implement doesn't matter anything to me. However, I will say I will apply the American History X law to anybody who is Muslim and decides to leave. It's not enough for you to disavow Muslim or Islam. You need to disavow it and then come on the other side and get other people to see your light. Because it's that big of a problem to where you just can't be, no, I wash my hands of it. No, you need to turn around and you need to tell everybody else that that it's an evil cult and has no business in Western society, more largely in the world. But we'll work on Western societies first.
For sure. Yeah. Well, again, we're pretty good show today. I liked it. Barney Bell, thank you, my man. Dang da da dang da dang da dang dang da dang da dang dang you. Glenn Lowry, Colonel. We have Gary's grandma in there, I think.
Kentucky.
Kentucky guy for sure. VG Gaming, obviously. Know the Chad today. Jen, obviously amazing as always. We said Barney Bell, Colonel. Yeah, all the crew. The whole crew. Appreciate you guys. Great job out there today, chatting it up. We need that. We need the chat rocking and rolling. It definitely helps with the algorithm. So, but yeah, don't forget that August 29th, we got VG Gaming and Bakash going at it in a head-to-head debate. It's going to be kind of cool. I'm excited for that. Candace Owens, Andrew Wilson. Can't wait for that debate. So, yeah, you guys got a lot of things that you can take care of. It should be exciting. All right. Well, good night, everybody. Good day, everybody. Good morning, everybody. See you soon. God bless. We're out.
And if you are going to join us in chat, please, wear a suit and tie. You should dress for the occasion. We don't ask for much, but you shouldn't be humming around in sweatpants and whatnot. I just don't think that this is the forum for that. And if you're listening on iTunes, iHeart, Spotify, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, wherever you're listening to, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Come to Rumble. It's totally worth it. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. We do pay you, Colonel. We do pay you, Colonel, to... Oh, Bathy. Bathy Takure Z F8P. Whee! Bot life, Bathy. Bot life.
Barney, dinner with Jen is fine as long as I get the leftovers and Jen warm for me. That's all I really ask.
Oh, yeah.
I'll watch the rabbit.
I'm going to say hi to Colonel's mustache, by the way, as well.
He does have quite the soup strainer on him.
He gets paid in wisdom and laughs. That's how he gets paid. Oh, and hey, go check out UGNRaveRadio.com. UGNRaveRadio.com. Where we actually you can watch us from there and Spotify.
Yeah, I think they added another podcast too. What about these?
Oh, cool.
You also pay Colonel in Mirage tokens that you can use in Las Vegas next time you're there.